Good morning, Keller Williams, and welcome back to 66 Conversations with MAPS Coaches. I am honored to be joined today by my first MAPS coach, Matt Koller. Matt, thanks for being here. Thank you for all that you've done personally for me in my life. I always appreciate it. And for those that don't know you, sir, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone and talk a little bit about what you do in your role?
Yeah, absolutely. So Matt Koller, been a MAPS coach since 2018. I specialize in coaching productivity coaches, specifically in launching and relaunching productivity coaching programs, as well as helping PCs scale their programs large to help as many people as possible.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I'm sure working with that many PCs who work with that many clients, this objection will not be new to you. But the objection that we hear from agents who feel like, I'm not ready to start lead generating because I don't know enough, or I'm not ready. Well, what if they say they do want to list with me, Matt? I'm not ready to write a contract or a listing agreement, or there's so much more to know. How do you overcome that objection? What's that conversation from an agent perspective? What do you tell the agent who feels like, I got to know it all before I do anything?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Marty, play along with me. You are this new agent. Okay. So Marty, listen, I certainly can appreciate that you don't feel like you know everything you need to know. There's a lot, between contracts and understanding the process. You don't want to make a mistake, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Marty, do you know how to ride a bike?
I do know how to ride a bike. Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how old you were when you learned?
That's a good question. Maybe 5 or 6, somewhere in there, I think.
Okay, 5 or 6. What was the name of the class that you took that taught you how to ride a bike?
I don't know that there was a class that I took to ride a bike.
Okay, well, certainly you had to have read a book that taught you how to ride a bike, right?
I don't know that I ever read a book to learn how to ride a bike. No.
Well, hang on, Marty. So you didn't take a class. You didn't read a book that taught you how to ride a bike. So how did you learn how to ride a bike?
I think it was a little bit of practice. I had some training wheels, if I recall, a little bit of dad maybe holding the back seat while he ran alongside me. Yeah, I think that was probably fell a few times, couple scraped knees and elbows, but I'm still here to talk about it. So it wasn't the worst thing that ever happened, I guess.
Okay, all right. So you had to get on the bike. You had a coach that was helping you learn how to do it and encouraging you along the way.
Yep.
So you had to get in the process. So you said you probably fell.
Oh, I'm sure I fell a few times. Nothing that stands out, but I don't know that I was perfect out the gates.
All right. So you fell. I'm sure you probably scraped your knees, elbows, that sort of thing. And I imagine that probably didn't feel good, right?
Didn't feel good. No, I can probably still remember that part. No one likes scraped knees.
Yeah. And so knowing that the strong possibility of scraping your knees and maybe blooding them up a little bit was out there, yet you still chose to continue to get on that bike. Why was that?
Well, because I really wanted to learn how to ride a bike.
Mm-hmm. So
all
let me
my
ask you
friends
this.
were riding bikes. I wanted to ride a bike to my friend's house. I wanted to play after school. There's a lot of fun involved with riding bikes.
So would it be fair to say that your big why for learning how to ride a bike was stronger than the fear of failure?
I think that's fair to say. Absolutely.
All right. So let me ask you this. What makes real estate different?
It's a good question. I guess maybe the pain or the risk is greater than scraping my knee, maybe.
All right. Would you agree that there really isn't anything in your world that you can learn just from a book? You have to get out there, do it, experience it, get your hands dirty a little bit.
Absolutely. And I know when I scraped my knee, I could always come in and trust my mom to put a Band-Aid on it and make it all better. It wasn't life-threatening, never went to the hospital. So at least there's that. I guess in the real estate world, I probably have somebody that could put a Band-Aid on it if I absolutely needed them to.
Well, listen, as your coach, I'm here to put the Band-Aids that you need on your knees. So let's go scrape your knees.
Sounds great. I'll start calling tomorrow.
There you go.
I like it. It's a simple analogy, and yes, it's a powerful analogy because I think most people know how to ride a bike, right? And when you think back to that time, there was that fear, right? And depending on the parent, I think back then I did not have a helmet or knee pads or shoulder pads or elbow pads. But even then, right? Like if you prepare your child to have all of that, they still have to get on the right. There's no amount. You could put me in a full bodysuit of armor. I'm still going to have to get on, and I'm probably still going to fall even wearing that bodysuit of armor, right? So there's no amount of protection that you can provide somebody who's learning how to ride a bike that's not going to have a fall or two, right? So it's just a matter of who's there. Like you said, a great coach. We've got amazing productivity coaches across our ecosphere that can, help. And sometimes you see that curve coming and you're like, Dad, I don't know how to turn the bike. You never taught me how to turn. Okay, son, just grab the handlebars and move right or move left, right? Like that's where those PCs or MAPS coaches or a combination thereof can definitely come in. So great point. Any closing thoughts as we overcome that objection?
No, I just, as well as I do, having been a former PC, that there's no amount of classwork that can truly prepare somebody for, getting in the transaction. Right. And there's no way to learn anything just through books. You have to go out and experience it. And so, for any new agent out there who's, not thinking they're not ready, you're ready. There's no better time than the present. Go make it happen.
I love it. Definitely a difference between a professional student and a professional realtor. So learn what you can, but a lot of that knowledge can be done on the job. And as you're, balancing your education and your real world knowledge, 100%. Great perspective, sir. Great objection handling. I like it. Guys, come back tomorrow. Stay tuned. We're going to have a brand new MAPS coach and a brand new conversation. Can't wait to see you there. Matt, thank you again for your time, sir. I appreciate you as always.
You bet.